Hey everybody, so today we're going over Sun and Moon booster boxes and cards for the month of September 2024, looking at what's been moving, what's not moving, what's going sideways. So starting off, Sun and Moon booster box base set, not doing too much, kind of, flat on the month, and most recent sales still in that 280 to 285 range there. Guardians Rising, pretty much the same thing around that 420 mark, most recent sales. We do have a couple around 430, so keep that in mind. Maybe it's slightly inching up there. Burning Shadows, again, kind of flat, and most recent sales are in that 425, 420 range, so nothing too crazy. Crimson Invasion, not a ton of sales data on this. I do, when we look at Pokemon investing, it's important to remember that even the worst sets will move up with time. Crimson Invasion is up 9.36% on the year. It's around $215. And most recent sales are actually in that 245, 250 range. So, maybe Crimson Invasion is a bit higher than what the graph would suggest. Again, not a ton of sales on TCG Player, but it's slowly moving up over time. So that's a good sign there. Uh, Ultra Prism, sorry, had a little bit of a brain lag there. Up 35% on the year, up on the month. No, it's kind of just flat in that 670 range there. And we do have a recent sale that was from September 3rd for $670. So all good. Forbidden Light up 0.4% on the month, up around $460. And most recent sale was September 3rd for $468. So right in line with its price. Celestial Storm up 20% on the year according to TCG Player. Nothing recent in terms of sales data. If we look at solds, again, nothing there. But if you go to eBay, lowest listed is about 1,000 Canadian. So I believe that's like what, 730-ish USD, something like that, without shipping and tax. So, keep in mind that is lowest listed box. Obviously, I'm not including this one from Hong Kong just because I don't imagine that will be legit. Lost Thunder, again, no data on TCG Player for this one. Lowest listed on eBay, not from China, is $860 Canadian. So what's that, like 640 something? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're gonna have to transfer it or convert it rather into USD or whatever your currency is. So I think it's around 640 USD, something like that. So that is lowest listed on eBay right now. Team Up, $2,400, still in that range. And we did have a recent sale September 5th, $2,460.90. So still hovering around that $2,400 mark. And again, just look at the 1 year chart, up 34.5% from that, mid 1800 range. And now it's breaking into that 2000. It will be interesting to see what happens over the next 12 months if Team Up can move into that 3,000 range. Next up, we have Unbroken Bonds. This is pretty flat, up 0.61% on the month, around that $660 point. And most recent sales, September 3rd and September 2nd, $700 respectively on each of those. So again, probably a bit higher than what TCG would suggest. But if you look back at July and stuff, it's pretty in line with price. It's not jumping too much. But if we go back a bit further, obviously start of May, 620, 615 range. I did cover that a lot. So it has been moving up over the past couple months. Unbroken Bonds, definitely something to keep our eye on. I've also said Unified Minds. I think this is going to be an $800 box soon, and that it's definitely underpriced. Not a ton of data on TCG Player. Lowest listed on eBay, again, excluding the Hong Kong box, is $1,000 Canadian. So again, around 730, 740 USD, excluding shipping and taxes there. Then finally, we have Cosmic Eclipse, up 1.57% on the month, according to TCG Player, around $930. But most recent sales, over $1,000, $1,100 actually. These are going back to August 2nd, but August 26th, only a couple weeks ago, $1,100 there. And again, after looking at the boxes, I just like looking at a couple cards that have been moving. So we have the Charizard GX from Burning Shadows. I think this one's always important to look at. According to TCG Player, it would be kind of flat. Not really too much going on, around $270. But if you look at most recent sales, September 6th, a near mid holofoil sold $420. The day before that, on the 5th, $420. And then the day before that, $415. Obviously, you have some light plates in here selling in the 200s, but near mid holofoils are selling between that 395, 400 mark and up to 450. We did have a sale on the 21st of August, and that was a English version. So in that 420 range. Near mints are going now definitely up a little bit from previous months where, it was around that 400, and we're now moving to the 420-ish range there. The Lily from Ultra Prism, again, the year chart, it had a massive spike into the 400s. TCG players now putting it down in the 300s. But if you look at most recent sales for the past, couple weeks, and only a couple days ago, we had a near mint holofoil sell $500. Same day, 450. A couple days before that, 450 as well. And then at the end of August, there was a near mint that sold 500, almost 501. So this card has definitely rebounded compared to, even a couple months ago where near mints were going for, less than $400. They're now going upwards of $500 on this Lily at this point. The Lycia as well from Celestial Storm. Side note, we actually just got the SAR of Lycia revealed from that would be Paradise Dragona, which is going to be part of Surging Sparks. I will cover that in another video. I'm not a huge fan of the artwork. I actually think that, in terms of artwork, the just regular trainer card is going to do better than the secret art rare. But yeah, anyways, the Lycia from Celestial Storm. This is another card, TCG player has it, seemingly flat around 207, but most recent sales are in that 230 range. This is from today. That's a lightly played as well. Near mint holofoils are selling actually for $300. So way up from the 217, 220 point that TCG player is putting it at, even less. So right, $300, 285, up to 325. That was back a couple weeks ago at the end of August. And yeah, so I mean, $300 for near mint holofoil at this point. Definitely rebounded here. Next up, we have the Latias and Latios. I just want to throw this one in here because TCG player has it 566, which really doesn't make sense. Most recent sales for near mints, $854, 825, 826. Obviously, back in July, you had sales upwards of $950, almost $1,000 in July. So it has come down a bit, but yeah, based on the current market data, definitely a bit higher, but lower than its high in July. Then we have the Magikarp and Wailord GX card. TCG player has a 184. Look at most recent sales data. We'll go back to May and June. Near mint holofoils are selling around 240, and now they're selling for around 290. This is from yesterday, 290 for a near mint, and then the most recent before that, near mint holofoil, $300. That was at the end of August there. And then just a couple more, Gardevoir and Sylveon GX. TCG player has a 212, but again, most recent sales around that 250 to 60 mark. And that is up, from back in June where it was like 250. Well, maybe around the same point, I guess. And I'm trying to look in the summer if it did anything crazy. So, maybe slightly up, especially with this 260 mark. We'll see if it moves into the 270s or goes any higher over the next couple months. And then Misty's Favor was the last one I wanted to cover from Unified Minds. TCG player data obviously way off. Near mint holofoils are selling around $250 right now, $220, $215. And so, definitely in that range, which is, kind of flat on the year. I think in the summer, it kind of had a dip with some of the other waifus, down below $200, 179 there. So it's rebounded a bit, but definitely the largest rebounds, I would say, are on this Lily, which was selling a lot of the time for $385, $400, now selling in the $500 range. And then the Lycia as well is moving from that $200, $230 mark up to around $300 most recent sales. So that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.